The streets of the Bronx in the 1940s were far from glamorous, but to a young Al Pacino they were home. Having been born in New York City on the 25th of April, 1940, Pacino's early life wasn't one of wealth. He spent his childhood in a tiny apartment with his mother, Rose, and grandparents. Pacino's upbringing was modest, with his father having left the family when he was just 2 years old. His father's absence made his mother his significant influence. Despite being raised in a tough neighborhood, Pacino would describe his youth later in life as one that provided him with a strong sense of ambition, persistence, and a driving desire to do something with his life. Though his early life was not in acting, Pacino did have an interest in art and even wished to become a painter at some time. But his life was to take a dramatic turn when he discovered the world of theater. He was drawn to the magic of theater storytelling and realized that acting was the perfect medium for him to express himself and pursue his passion. The road to success was not smooth, however. Pacino was beset by self-doubt and lacked confidence compared to most actors. But his perseverance finally paid off. He was admitted into the prestigious actor studio in New York, where he was trained by renowned instructors like Lee Strasberg. His time there marked the beginning of his transformation from a struggling young man to a future star of the entertainment world. It wasn't until the early 1970s that Pacino's career truly kicked off when he was cast in the role of Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather, 1972. Pacino had performed several stage productions before this, including his star-making performance in The Indian Wants the Bronx. But it was The Godfather that cemented his place in Hollywood. The role of Pacino as Michael Corleone, the reluctant mob boss son of Vito Corleone, was not cast without controversy. Pacino was not well known to the public yet, and there were questions about whether or not he had it in him to play such a powerful, complex character. But in the part of Michael, Pacino gave one of the most iconic performances in film history. His intensity, subtlety, and range in his delineation of Michael's transformation from a young war hero to a ruthless mafia don were unprecedented. The Godfather was a massive success, and Pacino was immediately anointed one of Hollywood's most promising actors. His performance earned him his first Academy Award nomination, and even though he didn't win, the film changed the course of his career forever. In the years ahead, Pacino went on to act in a series of performances that have sealed his reputation as one of the finest and most versatile and intense actors of his generation. From his classic portrayal of the doomed anti-hero Tony Montana in Scarface, 1983, to the poignant portrayal of Lieutenant Colonel Frank Slade in Scent of a Woman, 1992. Pacino's ability to fully transform into his characters and fill them with raw emotion was his signature. Scarface, in particular, was a cultural phenomenon, particularly in the Latino and hip-hop communities. The film received divided reviews initially, but its cult following grew over time. Pacino's portrayal of Tony Montana, the ruthless Cuban immigrant who rises to success in the world of organized crime, became legendary. Tony Montana became a symbol of defiance, ambition, and excess, and for many, he was the embodiment of the American dream gone wrong. Ruthless, unchecked, and ultimately tragic. The film's themes of greed, power, and moral decay continue to ignite debates on whether it was a cautionary tale or an anthem for the excesses it documented. Despite his success in his career, Pacino was not without controversy. In 2018, he portrayed Joe Paterno in HBO's Paterno, based on the infamous Penn State child abuse scandal. Based on a true story, the film focused on the downfall of Paterno, the legendary football coach whose reputation was shattered when it emerged that his assistant, Jerry Sandusky, had been molesting young boys. The film focused on a disastrous 2-week period in 2011 when Paterno's legacy unraveled. Pacino's Paterno showed the internal conflict of a man torn between his love for the sport and knowledge of the unfolding scandal. The film raised difficult questions. What did Paterno know and when? Could Paterno have done more to stop the abuse, or was he just part of an institution that failed to act? Critics praised Pacino for his understated acting, showing Paterno's internal conflict. The film, however, polarized some viewers. Some believed Paterno was unjustly singled out as a scapegoat, while others believed he was involved in the abuse. The film didn't judge, instead allowing viewers to make up their own minds. This ambiguity mirrored the actual controversy that followed Paterno's dismissal and death. For Pacino, it was another example of his willingness to portray complex and conflicted characters that explore deep human emotions and moral ambiguities. In 2013, Pacino portrayed another controversial figure in Phil Spector, where he acted as the infamous music producer who stood accused of murdering actress Lana Clarkson. As in Paterno, the film wasn't about the trial of the case but about Spector's own unraveling psyche and his desperate attempts to control the narrative under the glare of the public spotlight. Pacino's portrayal of the eccentric and paranoid Spector was riveting yet unsettling, a genius marred by a criminal act. Private life was no less tumultuous for Pacino as his professional one. Despite dating high-profile actresses Diane Keaton, Beverly D'Angelo, and Kathleen Quinlan, Pacino never married. A lifelong bachelor, Pacino later spoke about his decision not to marry in his 2024 memoir Sonny Boy. According to Pacino, his commitment issues, arising from the pain of his father's desertion, held him back from taking the plunge for marriage. His love affair with Diane Keaton, which began on the sets of The Godfather, was Hollywood's most famous romance. It ended, however, when Pacino couldn't commit. Pacino acknowledged that Keaton had given him an ultimatum in 1990. Marry her or split. He chose to let her go. In 2023, at age 83, Pacino shocked the world by becoming a father once again. His partner, 29-year-old Noor Alfallah, gave birth to their son, Roman. Pacino already had 3 children from previous relationships. Twins Anton James and Olivia Rose with Beverly D'Angelo, and Julie Marie with acting coach Jan Tarrant. Being a father at this stage of his life came with new challenges, but Pacino was willing to embrace his role as a father. He revealed that becoming a father again had tremendously changed him. He had been haunted by the specters of his father's desertion his entire life, but he did not wish to continue the cycle with his own kids. At 83, "I never imagined that I'd be a dad once more," he said in an interview. Yet life is brimming with astonishments. Roman has provided another vision to my life, another motivation for living. Despite personal hardship, Pacino continued acting. In 2021, he starred in House of Gucci as ruthless businessman Aldo Gucci. But it's his upcoming projects that have fans and critics alike holding their breath in anticipation to witness what he does next. He will be seen in Modi, a biopic of Italian artist Amedeo Modigliani, to be directed by Johnny Depp, and in The Ritual, a horror film based on real-life exorcisms, set for release in 2025. All these and other upcoming ventures attest that Pacino's passion for storytelling remains alive and kicking. Even at 84 years old, he continues to work at his craft with the same passion that brought him to stardom in the first place. Pacino's career is a testament to his strength and unwavering commitment to his craft. But his journey has been not just about the roles he's played or the awards he's received. It's about the personal growth and self-discovery along the way. It was in 2020 that Pacino nearly died and, after that, his attitude towards life changed. When he became seriously ill, his pulse stopped, and he was revived by paramedics. The near-death experience led him to reassess his presumptions about the afterlife, and he began going public with his belief in no afterlife. In spite of the visage of mortality, Pacino remains invested in the here and now. His acting, his relationships, his legacy. His life, anything but mundane, is rich with experiences. "Acting saved my life," he often says, "and here I am, still going, still learning, still telling stories." As the camera pans out on Pacino against the backdrop of the city, one thing is sure: Al Pacino is not just an actor. He is a storyteller who has shaped and been shaped by the world he inhabits. Both on screen and off, his journey continues to inspire those who dare to dream big, face their fears, and tell their own stories.